you're trying to get more out of Claude Cowork, you are in the right place. I use it every single day, and every week I'm trying to automate something brand new with it. The biggest mistake that I see people make isn't their prompts, it's the fact they're treating it more like a chat tool from 2024. The top 1% aren't having better conversations. In fact, they've built systems, they've scheduled tasks on autopilot, they have skills that chain. They have projects so that way they can stay organized. Today, we're going to cover 7 different habits. And as a bonus at the very end, I'm going to show you how to chain skills together so it starts an entire workflow. So, the first is going to be utilizing projects. Now, projects have been around for a few weeks now. And honestly, if you have tasks that revolve around a specific subject matter, you should just put them all within a project. For example, let's say you have a website that you're constantly updating or you're adding new content to it or whatever the case may be. It would make sense to have your website as a particular project, and any prompt that has to deal with your website, keep it in one spot. Now, there's a few different ways that you could find your projects. Over here, historically, people put everything within a folder, but now it just makes sense to have a project. So you can go over here and choose a project. Now, this is my computer I use for YouTube videos, so these aren't my actual real projects. But let's say, for example, you use weekly sales reporting. The other way that you can access projects is just going over here to the sidebar. So go to projects over here. And then obviously, if you have a lot of projects you can search, you can also create a new project. But I would just go over here. And what you can tell is projects have instructions as well. So giving it a little bit more context, you can actually set up schedules within a project. You have memory in their project. And also, you can have multiple conversations. So you can start a brand new conversation over here, or you could go into a past historical conversation if you want to continue it. And you have an option to start important conversations so that way they stay at the top. So if you have a lot of different conversations about something, which I would assume if you have a website, you're going to have a lot of conversations, maybe the most important ones you start and you put this over here. Now, one thing I have seen out there, people say, well, I've had past conversations before projects. How can I actually transfer them over? And really, it's not that hard. Let's go over here to search and we'll choose something. Let's grab Great Apex Sales Calls. And let's say I want to move this into our project. Just click over here and then move the project and then choose your particular project. So super important if you're working within a similar like ecosystem or something in general, make sure that you put everything into a project to stay organized. There's also a lot of benefits when it comes to context, putting everything there. Now, this one might be super obvious, but it's actually neglected by a lot of people, surprisingly, but that is setting up scheduled tasks for anything that repeats. This could be something that's daily, weekly, or monthly. Some of the easiest automations, you could go and build something out with your email. It's super easy to add in an email connector. For example, we go into our customize over here, connectors, and you can see, for example, I have Gmail added in over here. They also have Outlook as well. And most people are going to be using probably Gmail or Outlook. I understand there's other email providers, but a lot of people have these and they're integrated quite nicely within over here. You could also automate daily tasks with Slack. So imagine you log in every single morning and you ask, hey, what are my updates within Slack? Are any customers reaching out to me, etc.? Same with my email. And every morning you get a summary of things that happened overnight. What if you're trying to research something every single day? Let's say you want to research the stock market or you want to research some sort of industry news, like what happened over the last 24 hours. You can actually build a scheduled task for that. And then you get those specific updates. Now, one nuance, you guys probably saw it a little bit earlier on in this video. If your computer is not on, as soon as you turn your computer on, the task will run. So for example, if I set up a task for 8 a.m. this morning and my computer is off, that task will not run at 8 a.m. Your computer has to be on. So if it's critical task, make sure your computer is on at the time. And you can view your scheduled task in a few different spots. First over here, and you can see I have a bunch, and it's actually quite easy to create a new task, set up a name, description, prompt for it. You set your frequency. You can see there's manual, hourly, daily, weekdays, or weekly. And then also you can go over and set these up within projects. So if you have a scheduled task particular for a project, let's say with this weekly sales reporting, you can set that up over here. You'll see create new task, same exact UI, or you can choose a specific task. So you can kind of add on to that projects. Another habit of top Cowork users is constantly changing your models. By default, we have Sonnet 4.6, But Sonnet 4.6 should not be used for every single use case. If you have something that's like a fast and super easy to research, maybe you want to use Haiku. If you have a normal task you do day to day, a Sonnet 4.6, and if you have something advanced that requires deep research or deep reasoning, I would switch over to Opus 4.6. Some people think, hey, I'm always going to run Opus 4.6. It doesn't really matter, but they run out of their tokens. You get that limit that you hit 100% and you have to come back in 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, or whatever the time limit specifically is. And you see people getting frustrated all over social media, especially with Claude recently lowering the limits. But feel free to change these. And even within one particular task and one prompt, you can say, hey, for the first part, use Sonnet 4.6. For part two, which is the review, use Opus 4.6. Or maybe you want to start off with Haiku and then use Sonnet 4.6 as the review layer. Feel free to utilize multiple of these. Start with Sonnet 4.6. If you don't think you need as much power, drop down. If you need more, go back up. There's a lot of different ways that you could provide context within Cowork for your specific conversations. The first one is going to be within the conversation itself. So let's go and grab one of these over here. For example, I have this daily motivation. And if I want to update the context in here, I can go into my claude.md file. Now this is in your folder on your computer, or you can actually click right over here and update this. And this gives you folder instructions. Use this to give Claude instructions when working directly in a particular folder. You also have your project ones, which we saw a little bit earlier. So if you go into your project, you can see that we have instructions specifically for a project. And then you have global ones. So if we go into settings, go into Cowork, you'll notice that there's something called global instructions. So it says instructions here apply to all Cowork sessions. Use this for preferences, conventions, or context Claude should always know. So you can set your instructions globally, which applies to everything. If you only want to apply it to a specific folder or a conversation, you do that in the conversation. Or if you want it to be in a project, which can assume multiple conversations, you could set that over there. But the best users are utilizing all of these. If you have not set up global instructions, set that up right now. And if you're not sure what to put in global instructions, you can actually just start directly here. You can say something like, hey, can you help me out with the global instructions? Prompt me. And you'll have that conversation going back and forth, and they'll give you specifically what you can put in your global instructions in Claude Cowork. One of the ways that Cowork really stands out is how easy it is to connect to other services. You can go into your customize over here, look at connectors, and you just click this plus icon, browse connectors, and there are tons. There's new ones getting added every single day. We can sort by popular. You can see like file system, PDF. We can sort by new. Things are getting added. You can see the new icon over here. And then you can also look at trending, like what is trending currently right now, ticket tailor, linear, etc. But sometimes you're going to have things that just don't have a connection into Cowork. So how do you actually work with these type of programs? Well, there's two different approaches with it. The first is actually Claude in Chrome. So Claude can actually control your Chrome browser and perform tasks. I've been using Claude Chrome to essentially help redesign my website. I'll put some images here on the screen so you can see how this looks. It really did a fantastic job, but also what Claude has, and it recently just launched for Windows. So stay tuned for a video on it. Might be out already, but you have computer use. So it can actually take control of your computer and use applications. So I use the Adobe Suite, and maybe I want to have it take control of Photoshop or Premiere Pro. So those aren't connected directly in over here. In fact, if I go to browse connections, I do Adobe, I doubt we have Photoshop. And you can see none of that is in over here. But since there is a connector now directly on the computer, I can go in and take action. And to show you where these are at, you can go to settings and then go to desktop app general. And you'll see that there's browser use. And obviously like mine is off right now. And then underneath browser use, you're going to have something that says computer use. I'm not too sure why it's not showing on this computer right now. I'll just put a screenshot on, but then you'll have a few different settings below it. This next habit doesn't involve Claude at all. In fact, it's kind of just thinking about your personal life and thinking about, hey, what tasks can I actually automate? I'm sure everyone has dozens of tasks that they want to automate, but it takes time, it takes brain power, and a lot of testing to automate something. And at least personally, I try to automate 1 or 2 things a week. I don't want to say, hey, I'm automating 20 things at once, because then you find out they're not perfect. How do you actually rank these though? You should take a look at a mixture of how frequently you do a task and then how much time is involved with it. You should also look at the outcome of how much would it actually cost someone to do that specific task. And you build out your list and you start ranking them from high to low. Like, hey, I do this often. It might take me 30 minutes or an hour every single day. This is something I want to try to automate first, versus something that you maybe only do once a month and it only takes 15 or 30 minutes. It should have a lower priority. And then if you have a lot of different tasks and you want to automate everything right away, you could also look at the cost of hiring someone to do that task, especially if you find you're spending a lot of hours and you just don't have the time to build out that automation. And finally, let's talk about skills. Anytime that you have a repeatable process here in Cowork, you should look at turning those into skills because you don't want to type out that prompt over and over again. Also, kind of as a bonus tip, you don't always have to throw in all the steps into one skill. What I find a little bit of newer users into Cowork do, they'll have like 10 steps within a skill. However, they already have the first five in a different skill. So, what you can actually do is say, hey, utilize this skill for the first part of this other skill. So that way, you don't have to change that process in multiple locations. You just have to change it once. This is also called chaining skills together, and I use this in multiple processes. For example, on my YouTube videos, I have different timestamps in the description. This is all built because of skill chaining. I have one skill that goes and grabs my particular YouTube transcript through an API, and then I have another skill that takes that transcript and builds me different timestamps. I didn't put the full process in the timestamp skill. I said utilize the transcript skill to grab the transcript and then build out the process for those specific timestamps. Now, it's a basic example of two, and you can get as complicated as you particularly want. Are you a top user of Claude Cowork? Feel free to leave a comment down below with some other advice so that way other people can learn. And if you want to grab this list, it's going to be available for free in our school community. Hopefully you guys found value in the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new because we're posting at least 3 different AI videos every single week. It's a grind, but we're trying our best. And check out our other Cowork videos. We have like at least 15 on the channel.